I think in the last class we are discussing about what is equal to, double equal to, and what is if, what is else if. Also, we just started writing some client script kind of thing. Let's try to elaborate it more today. So let's go to child batches table. So whatever we are going to do, via client scripts, we'll implement it on the child batches table because we already used a snow batches table for the UI policies. So let's go to child batches table. Let me open any of this record. So if you pay attention, we have this number. We made it read only using client script. So let's try to understand a few things today. That is glide form and glide user. What is glide form? What is glide user? So these two are the client-side APIs. There are a lot of APIs, but these two will be most frequently used. There is one more API known as Glide Ajax that will be explained to you by Shashank, not by me. That will be your last class, I think. Yeah. After Glide Ajax, I think the classes will be done. So glide form, what is glide form? What is glide user? G underscore form. When you're writing this glide form, the abbreviation is glide form, but when you're writing it in the code, you need to write it as G underscore form. It's an API. G underscore form is an API. Within that API, you'll have a lot of methods actually. Why we use glide form actually? For what reason we use G underscore form? Let's say the name itself is telling glide form or G underscore form. Within the form, if you want to perform any validations, let's say, for example, within the form, I want to make it read only, I want to make it mandatory, or I want to hide the field, or I want to set some field value. Let's say I want to set the field value from to training on hold, something like that. Or let's say I want to get the field value. I want to get some field value, like what is the value of the start date. I want to get that value. What is the value of the start date? It's 2025 417. You want to get the field value, or you want to set the field value, or you want to print the messages here above, error messages or info messages. So for all these things within the form and on the fields, if you want to do anything on the form or on the fields, if you want to perform anything, we'll go for G underscore form API. Is it clear? No.
That's with it.
Can you tell me
Yes,
what is G underscore form API if it is clear? I'm not asking SVJ, it's clear. I'm asking you what it will do. Can you tell me? What is G underscore form API, guys? Like what kind of validations? You can achieve it in UI policy also, know why we need a client script then. See, to make a field mandatory, read-only, and visible, we can also do the same in UI policy. Then for what reason we need client script actually? Okay. So there are few things which you cannot achieve using UI policy. Like for example, I can't set the field value, or I can't get the field value, or I can't print the error messages or info messages. Not only that, let's say, for example, if you want to make sure if the trainee name, that is a LA or whoever it is, that person's department is, let's say, product management, okay, then only I want to make this description mandatory. These kind of things you can't do it in the UI policy. You can do it only in the client script. So let's say, see, UI policy or whatever it is, it will you can access it only the fields which are available on the form. You cannot access the fields which are not available on the form. So this is not part of this form. Department is not part of this form. There is something known as trainee name. It is referring to user table. It's from another form. You need to write a server side code to get this value, and you need to communicate it to the client side. Then only you can make it mandatory here. I know many of you didn't understand this part, but everything you cannot achieve. Let's say normally to make a field mandatory, read only, and visible based on a condition, you should always prefer UI policy rather than client script. There is a reason. I'll tell you maybe in the end of the client scripts. Why we need to prefer UI policy? Why not client script? Not only configuration, we also have another reason. We'll see that. Okay. Um, okay. Now let's try to do one thing. Let's try to make this number read only. It's already read only. Let's try to make this description mandatory. Let's try to hide this amount paid field. Okay. So we are trying to do three things. What we are going to do: number should be read only, description should be mandatory, amount paid should be hidden. This is what we are going to perform using client script. Is it clear? No.
Yeah,
Yes, we
Vijay.
can.
Is the scenario clear everyone? What we are going to do? Number should be read only, description should be mandatory, amount paid should be hidden. This we are going to perform using client script. Okay. Now
Okay,
let's
Vijay.
go to client script. In order to go to client script, type client script in the filter navigator. Under system definition, please go to client scripts. I remember we have already created one client script. Let's go to the existing client script only. That is onload. See, there are four types of client scripts, guys. In this, we are discussing onload client script. When this onload client script will run, see, we will discuss these things. So before we do that, see, there are four types of client scripts. No matter whether you write, the code will not change in the types of client scripts. Let's say you'll write the same code to make a field read only. You'll write the same code in the onload, on change, on submit also. Code is not going to change in the different types. Depending on the type, your code will not change or the syntax will not change. The syntax will be the same, but the way it will trigger will change. Example: no matter whether you write here 100 lines or 1000 lines, when it will run depending on the type. Okay. When this code will execute, that code will execute depending on the type. In this case, the type is onload. What do you mean by onload? On the child batches table, whenever the form is getting loaded, then this code will execute. Clear? The child batches table on load, whenever this form is getting loaded, then only this code will be executed. Basically, when we need to prefer onload client script, let's say, for example, you want to make sure like number should be read only or description should be mandatory or amount paid should be hidden every time irrespective of condition. There is no condition you want to make it mandatory, read only and visible, or you want to perform any action without any condition. Actually, anything that can be, let's say I want to set the field value, there is no condition, then you'll simply go for onload cancel. If there is no condition in your your scenario, in this case I don't have any condition, I want this number to be read only every time, I want this description should be mandatory every time, I want this amount paid should be hidden every time irrespective of condition. I don't have any condition, then you need to go for onload only. But let's imagine, let's consider there is another scenario when the status is running on hold, then only I want to make this mandatory. In that case, we can go for onload clients. I mean, you can go, but onload means it will execute whenever the form gets loaded. Whenever you load the form, then onload this script will execute. Okay, whenever this browser is loading in the sense, see, now it's loading. So onload this script will execute. I'll save the form. When you save the form, also you see the browser is loading, it will execute. So let's say if I'm trying to open any record actually, then also the form will load and come. I'm opening this record. See, then also the browser is loading. So whenever this browser is loading, it can be any other scenario also. But whenever this browser is loading, this form is loading, then this onload client script will execute. Is it clear? No, everyone.
Clear, Vijay.
Yeah,
You'll be
Vijay.
getting. Try to make some interest, guys. I can't shout. I'm not feeling well. Just try to have some interest because it's not like the previous topics. Okay. Name you'll give, table you'll give, type you'll select. Then what is this UI type? I didn't told you till now what is UI type. User interface actually. See, there are two UIs actually in service now. Desktop, mobile or service portal, all. In this case, we need to go for desktop only. There is no other reason. There is no other way. Actually, I'll tell you. Whenever you log into the environment, everyone is redirecting here, right? To this and here. Yes. When you're logging to the ServiceNow environment, everyone is getting redirected here only, right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
But
Yes, Vijay.
everyone will not be redirected here. Every people will not be redirected here, guys. Okay. Let it load back. Then. Majority of the people will be redirected here. Whenever you try to log into this environment dev 30.337.service or whatever it is, we are getting redirected here because you are having a sufficient roles or whatever it is you say. But let's say in a project there are 100 people. Okay, 80 people. In 80 people, let's say in this environment there are 100 members. In that 80 members will be redirected here only. People who are working in service now, at least using it like a tool to create an incident or to do that, not to create an incident, people who are working on the incidents or people who are working on the development activities, they will be redirected here. This is back end, this is front end. Why we have back end separately, why we have front end separately? Due to the licensing issues. Licensing means, let's say, yeah, you want to access the Netflix. What you'll do? You need to pay the amount, right? You need to take the subscription. In the same way, ServiceNow will charge heavy. ServiceNow will charge more amount for the people who are redirecting here. Let's say in your user table there are 100 people. Okay, for all 100 people you need to pay the amount to ServiceNow. Whoever, how many people are utilizing, you need to pay the amount to ServiceNow. Let's say in that 80 people are redirecting here, their amount will be less chargeable. If you are redirecting here, you'll be they need to be they'll charge a little more. Okay, so that's why we have this concept. This is back end, this is front end. People who are utilizing ServiceNow like a tool, they don't know what is ServiceNow. They just want to raise an incident or they just want to raise a request. So for that, they'll directly redirect it here only to this portal only. We'll call it as service portal or front end. Okay. So they'll be directly redirected here. They can go here. They can raise an incident. So they can use these. I want to change the password, or you can do these things actually. I want to create an incident. They'll directly go from here. They can raise the incident. So this UI is known as front end or service portal. That is this. Okay. We can call it as a front end or service portal UI. That is this. So where you want to run this code, whatever code you are running, you want to run it in the mobile or service portal. That is here in the portal. So they'll come here, they raise the incident here directly. That's it. Then submit. The incident will be created in the backend. How it will be created, Shashank will explain. Maybe after 4 days he will explain because this concept is known as record producer. He will take over for that. Okay. So, but I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Okay. Every user will not be redirected here, guys. When you log in, few users will be redirected here. Not few, majority of the users will be redirected here. Why? Due to licensing issues. We'll call it as front end or service portal. We'll call it as a desktop or back end. Okay. So if you want to run your code in the desktop, that is here, all this is desktop only. This is also desktop. This is also desktop. Everything is desktop. Whatever I showed you till now is a desktop. This is the service portal. Okay. Where you want to run this code on the desktop or mobile service portal or all, both the cases. You want to run it in both. You will understand all. Shishan will explain you the catalog item concept. Nothing but e-commerce website kind of thing. Okay. At that time, he need to explain you desktop or both all. He will explain you all. Like the code should run in the desktop as well or in the front end as well. Because the form will be present in the back end as well as in the front end. But in this case, in our case, we didn't created this table in the front end. So it should be desktop only. UI type is nothing but where you want to run this code. Whether you want to run it in the desktop UI or in the service portal UI. Is it clear? No.
Clear, Vijay.
What
Clear,
is clear for you? Can you tell
clear,
me?
Vijay.
What is clear? Can you repeat that, please? What do you guys understood? Who told it's clear? Mm. Not the changes. The code what you're writing will be running in that UI that is on the portal. Okay. I don't know how many of you are simply sitting and I'm not getting even I should also have that interest to explain your games, right? Why are you again doing the same mistake every day? I don't know. It's not like a school or something who will ask you every day, and it's became a drama for you or not getting your wish. Every day someone should tell you respond, respond, respond. How it will work? I can complete it within 2 days. Understand? So we have an active checkbox. If this active is true, then only this code will run, or else it won't run. We have inherited. We already discussed it in the UI policy and data policy also. Sorry, not in data. Yeah, data policy also. What this inherited will do, if this checkbox is checked to true, if this table, whatever you have selected, that is child batches table, that table is having any child tables, it will be applicable there also. We have a global checkbox. If you check it, it will run on all the views, all the form views,
From yes.
not the views, form views. If you uncheck it, it will work only in one view. Please understand this. This they might ask you name tag. Other things they won't ask, but this they might ask. Remember global. So we have the script field. Script field here you need to write the code. On last class, I don't recall it. Something before 2 days ago, we tried to written this code. Now let's try to write to make this field mandatory. I'll explain you this how it was written if you don't remember. We have this G underscore form. It's an API. Let me show you. G underscore form is an API. I want to make this field read only. So what I did, G underscore form is an API. We should go for G underscore form. We need to know which API do I need to use first. Okay, you want to make this field read only. Which API do I need to use? I told you there are two as of now. So in the G underscore form, either G underscore user or G underscore form. I should go for G underscore form. Dot. Within this API, you have a lot of methods. In these methods, you can scroll to each and every method. We have a method known as set read only. Okay. And you can open the braces, it will give you everything it will give you. You should understand. It is accepting two parameters. This is one parameter. Field colon string is one parameter, comma value, comma boolean is another parameter. So what is string means? String means whatever you give in the single quotes or whatever you give it in the double quotes will be treated as a string in the JavaScript language. Okay, either you can keep it in the single quotes or in the double quotes. It's not a programming language. If it's a programming language, you need to follow the rules and regulations strictly. It's a scripting language, which is a loosely type language. So either single quotes or double quotes, you follow one convention. You need to give what you need to give it in a string field name, which field you want to make it read only. Give that name of the field, not the label of the field. These all things what you're seeing is the labels, not the names. How to get the names? Right click on that field. This is the name. Right click on that field, you'll get the name. If you want to copy this, click on show. You can copy it from here. Okay. Field name that is in the string. What is the second value? Boolean. Boolean is anything but true or false. Whether you want to make it read only or you want to make it editable. False means if it is already read only, it will make you editable. True means if it is editable, it will make it read only. Okay. It is also giving the suggestion. See, make the field read only if true. Make the field editable if false. Also, it is giving a note. Both set read only and okay. I don't know what is that. Both are same only. Best practice: use UI policy rather than this method whenever possible. So they are also preferring. Please go for UI policy rather than using client script. Okay. Are you getting it or not?
Yeah, Vijay.
Yes, Vijay.
So we have a camel case letters. Whenever you write a whole service now will follow this camel case letters. Camel case letters in the sense. For example, you see set read only. Okay, let's consider set is different word, read only is different word, read is different word, only is different word. So how it will work? The first word will be small only. The first word, first letter will be small only. But from the after first word, how many words will be there? Irrespective of how many words will be there, the second letter, the second word, first letter, or followed by will be the capital letter. So in this case, what I'm trying to say, okay, let me explain differently. We have three words actually. The first word no need to be capital, but from the second line, from the second word, the first letter will be always capital. So let's say R capital. Again, O is only is a different word. O capital. Okay, it will be like that. Not only here, anywhere in service now. Okay, you will see these camel case letters. Camel case letters in the sense, consider these are three words. First word will be small only, but from the second word, first letter will be capital. Third word also same thing. If you have the fourth word, it's the same thing. Okay, I'm just telling you. Anyway, you'll have the suggestions, but going forward, you need to get rid of the suggestions. You need to practice it without suggestions. Okay, what if the interviewer is asking you to share your screen and write the code in notepad? Will you write set read only the small not like that? It should be capital. Okay, camel case letters we will say. Okay, let's say for example, my name is Vijay CH. So here the second word will become second word first letter will become capital. C will become capital. Something like that. Okay, are you getting it? No,
Yes, Vijay.
Yes, Vijay.
getting what you are getting. Okay, I want to make this description mandatory now. What should I do?
G underscore
The
form. G
underscore form.
underscore form.
Hmm.
Dot. Dot.
Dot.
Now let's scroll each and every method
Man.
slowly. If you find anything to make a mandatory, let me know.
Is
Is
mandatory.
mandatory. Is mandatory.
Is mandatory.
Yeah, many people will confuse here. Actually, it's not is mandatory. Is mandatory means it is system is asking you, is it mandatory? It is a question. Is it mandatory? If it is mandatory, it will give true. If it is not mandatory, it will give false. You're asking a question. Is this field mandatory? You're asking a question
Yes.
to the system. Is it mandatory? If it is already mandatory, it will give true. If it is not mandatory, it will give false. Wherever you see is, you have only two possibilities, true or false. Is new record, is mandatory. These all will give true or false only. Let's scroll down. People will confuse there.
Set
Set
mandatory.
mandatory. Set
Set
mandatory.
mandatory. Makes sense. Set mandatory. Okay. Set mandatory. So again the same thing. Field name in the string. String means what?
True.
It will
String.
mean single quotes or double quotes.
Single quotes or double quotes, not true or false. So field name in the string means field name. Which field you want to make it mandatory? Give that field name in the single quotes or in the double quotes. Are you getting string means
Yes.
either you keep it in the single quotes or you keep
Or
it
in
in the
double.
double quotes. Okay. So field name in the string format you need to give. Value in the boolean format you need to give. This is the format in which format you need to give. Okay. Field name in the string I want to give. So which field I want to make it mandatory in this case.
Description.
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 So what should I write here?
U underscore
You
description.
want
You don't know. Just
to
always check what is the backend value. It might be you underscore description. It's not. It not might be you underscore description every time. It might be description only few times. You should always check. Don't go to the assumptions. Value in the boolean. So what should I do here?
True.
True. I want to make it mandatory. Make it true. Okay. See, majority of the times you should know how to Google it, guys. If you're facing see few methods maybe you don't know. Few methods you don't know how it will work. You need to Google it. Googling in the sense, let me just show you for example how to make a field mandatory. Like this. So there is something known as community for us. Community. ServiceNow is having a lot of resources actually. You have community, you have docs, you have now learning. There are a lot of resources that will be provided by ServiceNow, honestly. So this is a community. What this community will do. So let's say for example, if you have any question, you can sign in. After that, you can post a question here. Someone will answer that question. Okay, within ServiceNow. I have no idea why we are getting this. Okay, there will be a lot of questions. Yeah, there will be a lot of questions, and there will be someone will be answering like this. See, this is a question someone has posted. I have a simple use case to make the description field mandatory, so the user fills in the form, they can submit something like that. So these people are start giving the answers actually. They're not giving the syntax, but they are giving the answers and what are the different possible ways they are giving. But we don't have the syntax here. But you no need to worry. Go for another community link. So there will be a lot of community questions like this. You should know majority of the times how to Google on it. See, for example, how to make the field read only using client scripts. Client script instead of your UI policy. See, this person is answering. Set mandatory field name true. Non-mandatory field name false. You should know how to Google that shit. Majority of the times. Okay, this will call it as community in service now. Let's say if you have any question, you can also post the question and someone will answer you that question. Okay. Not only small things, few people will be writing very complex codes also, and if they are stuck somewhere, they will post it here. We also have docs.servicenow.com, which is a ServiceNow documentation, like why we are using this method, what is the use of this method, and everything will be there. We also have now learning. There are a lot of resources actually ServiceNow provides. Okay. So, okay, if I go here, the description is not mandatory. What should I do to see it as mandatory now? Hmm?
Load it. Not mandatory. You
I
should
need to
read the
load the
form
form because this script will execute
only when it's
only
loaded.
on load. Okay, not only in on-load case, in any cases also you should load because it's a client that is UI. It will run on UI, you should load actually, then only you can see. Okay, not only in on-load case, in the other cases also you should load the form once. Whenever you do some change, if you remember in the UI policy also, if you're making field mandatory or read-only, whatever it is, you need to come here and load the form. Then only the changes will be reflected. But on-load is having that this thing, so it's fine. Now we need to hide this field. How can we hide this field? Okay, to hide a field, we don't have a direct method, guys. You won't get something like g underscore form dot hide field, like g underscore form dot set field hidden, something like it won't be like that. You need to be little creative enough. Let's try to find that. Okay, you guys understood, right? We need to hide this field, amount paid field. Okay, let's see how to do that. Let's type g underscore form dot. Let me know if you find any method. Let's see if you can able to find that method. Do you find anything?
Hide message box.
We need to hide the field, no?
Hide field message.
That is message, no?
Okay.
We need to hide the field.
Set visible.
Yeah. Actually, we have two methods, guys. That is set visible and the set display. To hide a field, we have two methods actually. One is set display and the other one is set visible. Okay, you need to remember this. Unfortunately, I don't ask. You don't need to remember the code. Actually, the moment you practice it, you will be automatically it will get registered. Okay, in terms of code. But I'm telling you, you need to remember. They might ask you, what is the difference between set visible and set display? Like if you can hide a field, why ServiceNow is giving two methods to hide a field? Normally, if you see other things like to make it mandatory or read only, we have only one method. We don't have two methods actually. Okay? To make it in mandatory or read only, we have only one method. We don't have two methods. So why we are having two methods to hide a field? Let's see. Let's see. Um, you just tell me. We'll try to implement both. You tell me if you why it is. Set visible. I'm using set visible. Again the same thing. Field name in the form of string. Display value. Okay. Value in the boolean. So which field I want to hide it? That is amount paid.
amount paid.
Which right click on use your underscore amount paid. Make that field name. What will be the boolean value?
False.
Fonts. Because set visible. Try to understand the sentence. Set visible. Set mandatory. If you want to make it mandatory, give it as true. Set read only. If you want to make it read only, give it as true. Set visible. If you want to show the field, give it as true. If you want to hide the field, give it as false. Okay, set visible. Clear?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Now let's reload the page. Let's see. Do you see amount paid field here?
No.
No. Now let's comment this line. You know what is comment? Anyone?
Yes.
This will call it as comment. You see, it got commented. Commented means this line will not execute now. This line is not going to execute now. Okay, I have commented this line. Whenever you give two slashes between before any line, whenever you give two slashes before any line, this line will not execute. System will treat it as a comment. See, if I refresh the page again, you can see amount per field, even though the code is written. So it will consider it as a comment. The comment we will keep it for a different purpose actually. To explain what this code, what this line is doing, you can keep a comment here and you can write it. For that purpose, we will use the comment, not for this purpose. But let's try to explore the other method. That is g underscore form dot. See, the moment you keep set now, set, you'll get read only, you'll get mandatory, you'll get visible and display all. Let's use set display. The same syntax, field name in the form of string, comma, boolean value is false. Now let's try to identify what is the difference between this method and that method. Let's see. Okay, let's go here, refresh the page. Do you see amount paid field now?
No.
Can you tell me what is the difference you find between set visible, that is the previous this method and this method? Do you find any difference here? Only few people might have observed it. When I show it for the second time, everyone will observe it. But do you find any
Uh,
difference?
Maybe space.
There's a space.
Yeah. See, let me comment this line and let me uncomment the previous line. If you pay attention, set visible. Okay, you need to remember this because we have to hide the field. We have two methods, not for any other this thing. We don't have two methods to make a field mandatory or read only for hiding. So what this set visible is doing, it is hiding the field, but it's not able to hide the space allocated to the field. Set visible will hide the field, but not the space allocated to the field. It will hide the field, but not the space allocated to the field. Whereas set display, it will hide the field as well as the space. So this is G underscore form not set visible. It will hide the field but not the space allocated to the field. Whereas set display will hide the field as well as the space allocated to the field. Clear? No.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Everyone. Okay. It will be like this only. We need to we need to start exploring these methods from tomorrow. Let's see these things. What are these and why we use these things? Why how it will make our lives little simpler. We'll see this. Okay.
Vijay, we have one more one, right? Set disable.
No, no, that we no need to learn. That's not a, that is not to hide the field.
Okay.
Set disable. Have you seen it's hiding the field? Have you tried it?
No, no. I'm just asking. With that also, shall we make to
No,
hide
it
the?
won't. It will gray out.
Okay.
You cannot. Set disable, you know, we won't use actually in this. When you type g underscore form and dot, you have a lot of methods. Even I didn't explore all the methods actually. Lot of methods. Not only me, many people don't have explored all these methods. But we'll try to understand few methods which might be useful for us, or we will use it in day to day life. Okay, a lot of methods. Even I didn't explore what is this get decimal value. I know what it will do, but I didn't explore get form element. I know what it will do. Get into value. I know what it will do, but I never got the chance to work on it. So let's go for few methods which might be useful for us. Okay, let's try to understand what these things will do. Then I think we can done for today. From tomorrow, we'll try to understand two important methods, that is get value and set value. People will confuse them. Use when you're using with ifs. Okay, so let's try to understand why we need this use of these things. Okay, this is to disable the syntax highlightation. Let's say when you're typing g underscore form here and you keep a dot, you're getting some suggestions actually. These suggestions are coming, and you can also see there is a color. You can see the colors are differentiated. If you click on this, it will work like a notepad, nothing else. If you want to practice the code without any syntax highlightations or without any suggestions, you can use this method. That is, it will disable the syntax. It will disable the suggestions and syntax highlightations. Okay. For that, we will use this. I never tried it, but you can try if you want. Yeah. If you want to practice the code without any suggestions, you can use this. It will be simply like a notepad. Clear? No.
Yes, Vijay.
Yes.
Clear.
This is to comment. Let's say I want to comment these two lines actually. You can select these two lines. Normally, I told you how to comment. You need to comment it like this. You need to go to the next line. You need to comment like this. Let's say I want to comment. Let's say there are some 20 lines here. I want to comment first 10 lines. You don't need to do like that. You simply select these two lines. Click on this. It will automatically comment. Again, you can select these two lines. Click on this. It will uncomment. Okay. You can also comment in other way, but I don't want to tell you that. If you want to select multiple, if you want to comment multiple lines, you can do like this. Something like this. This will also comment like that only, but use this only. You don't need to be fancy. That's fine. Okay. Select these two lines. Which lines you want to comment? Select it. Click on this. It will comment. Again, if you want to uncomment, click on that. Clear? No.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Vijay.
Clear also.
This is to
Clear.
format the code. Once you written the code, let's say when you're writing the code, maybe it won't be like this much, but let's say these things are not properly aligned. Actually, it won't be like this anytime. But I'm telling you, you simply click on this, it will be formatted. The code will be coming in a proper format. This is to format. Okay, clear? No.
Yes, Vijay.
Yes,
Clear.
sir.
Clear, Vijay.
This is to replace the words. Let's say, for example, I have written amount paid. Imagine it's not a small code; it's very big code. Let's imagine there are some 100 lines of code. In the 10 lines, were having amount paid field value. Now the customer is telling whatever validation you have done for amount paid, please do it for start date instead of amount paid. So what I can do, I can get the value of the start date. Wherever amount paid is there in the code, I want to replace that amount paid with start date. Wherever amount paid is there in this code, I want to replace it with the start date actually. Okay, you can click on this amount paid with start date. Okay, if you click on this, it will go line by line. If you click on this, it will replace at a time everything. See, when I click on this one, it will first go for this line. See, it replaces with start date. Again, when I click on this, it will replace with start date. Okay. But let's say if you click on this, everything will be done at once. Clear? No.
Yes, Vijay.
This is to
Yes.
replace. This is also doing the same. Then why Savishna has given two options actually. If you see here, this is also the same thing. This is also the same thing. But why Savishna is giving two things actually. Reason, uh, we have this. Initially, we have only this option here. We don't have this option here. And here we have only this option. We don't have this option. I don't know. Now it doesn't matter whether you choose this or choose this. Both are same. It really doesn't matter whether you choose this or choose this. Both are same. No change at all. Okay. These both are same actually. These three will work like a control F. Let's say if you want to find, let's say how many times true keyword is used. You will use true. You can scroll up. You can scroll down. Right. Control F. The same thing. It is they copied that functionality. You can use true here. If you want to scroll up, scroll down. It's the same thing. Okay, where in this code, where how many times that word keyword is used? You want to find, you can use this. Clear? No.
Yes, Vijay. Clear.
Yes.
Now let's imagine we have written a big line of code. Let's say some 50 lines of code. You need to scroll down, and again it will make you a little messy. So you want this whole screen to be presented as a code only. You can maximize it by clicking on this. Now you have the better visibility of the code. You can click on this so that it will give you, let's say, here after 8 lines, you need to scroll down like this. If you click on this, it will give you the better visibility. It might extend you till, let's say, 20 lines or 25 lines, something. You can maximize, minimize again by clicking on this. These are the shortcuts for whatever we have discussed till now. Shortcuts for all these things. Okay, you don't need to remember this, but yeah, if you want, you can. These are the shortcuts, whatever we discuss for all these things. This is to save the form. Let's say we know normally we'll save it like this, but let's say in the code you want to save it. Let's say you're here, you want to save it right away. You can click on this. You can when you click on this also, it will save this form. It will save the code. Okay, it will save. This is to syntax check. Let's say you missed any, it won't work as properly. You click on this, it will show the syntax violation. I didn't close the bracket here. Normally it will do, but I don't know why it won't work properly. Let's say if you didn't given anything properly, when you click on this, they'll say it will show, it will highlight that area, but I never find that. If you don't do it also, it will show normal. If you don't click on this also, it will show. This is for syntax highlightation actually. So, any doubts here, anyone?
No, it's okay.
Okay. So, tomorrow will you be able to join the class then? Because I have wasted 2 days, right? So that's the reason I'm asking. If you are able to join, then I'll take, or else we can take it on Monday. It's up to you.
No, Vijay. Tomorrow we will join.
No,
Yeah, we can join.
everyone, can you, like, I want everyone, like, to answer. Like, everyone will be joining or no?
Yeah, we can join. Yeah,
But
we
I'll
can
take
join.
it little late, maybe 10 or 11. I can't take it this early tomorrow because I will be traveling back to my hometown again back. At
At
what
11
time
o'clock it is
schedule?
fine. At 11
Okay.
o'clock it is fine.
Everyone 11, okay?
Yeah, Vijay. That's
Okay,
fine.
Vijay.
Tomorrow we'll see two important methods where people will be confusing a lot. It's very simple things. See, but this is how client script will be, guys. It won't be that tough or not like that. Client script will be very simple. Like if you bring any some ninth class person who is studying ninth class, ninth standard, you can teach them. They will able to do this. It's that simple. Client script. But server side code is not like that. You need to keep your brain attentive. So tomorrow we'll see how to do something like let's say we'll see some scenario tomorrow. We'll try to understand what is get value and what is set value, and we'll try to do some scenarios tomorrow. Let's catch up tomorrow at 11 o'clock and post the same in the group. Okay. Thank you all. If you have any questions, you can ask please. Do you have any questions? Not only in this topic, any topic that we covered till now. Yeah. Hmm. No, everywhere. It will be there in the developer environment, test environment, and production environment also. Portal is nothing but see, there are two types of users, guys, actually, who will use service now. So, if you remember, in your organization also, you are raising the incidents, right? Where will you go to raise the incidents? You will go to that portal only, to the service portal only. You will not be redirected to the backend part. Let me share the screen. You won't be redirected here actually. So in your organization, you as an end user, okay, you won't be redirected here. You'll be directly redirected to the service portal thing. The reason I told you, licensing. See, you have nothing to do with that service or production environment. You are not a developer there. So your work is to just raise an incident or raise a request. Request means you want to request a laptop or a mobile on behalf of company. So you need to get redirected here. I told you what happens when you try to redirect here. It will ask you for a like they will charge more amount actually. Service will charge more amount. So people who are working in service actually like working on the tickets or as a developer you're working, then only you'll be redirected here actually. Or you are a stakeholder, you are also responsible like product manager, these people, testing department people. So those people will redirect here. They all the people will not be redirected here, but that will be available in the portal actually. We won't cover that in this training because that portal requires a it's like if you can imagine like a full stack developer there, creating a website actually. But portal is nothing but a website kind of thing. You need to create a website. You need to have the knowledge of HTML languages, server side code, client side code, everything. There. CSS, all these things. Okay. But it's not necessary everyone knows the portal. Yeah. Because I told you solution is very vast, but everyone knowing everything is not possible actually. But any other questions, anyone? No? Okay, then let's catch you tomorrow at 11 o'clock, guys. Thank you all. Bye.